Okay, testing. Okay.
We're not very good at this.
No, we're not. And we have to admit that we are not technology people.
No.
So, given that, please provide your feedback. Let us know if you can hear us. Let us know if we're coming through. I guess if we're not coming through, you're not going to know. But anyway, yeah, we'll just wait to see if. Oh, a couple of comments. Okay. Well, that's really great
Yay.
because now we know we're reaching people. So one thing that we learned while we were kind of testing this out, we see comments directly in the software that we're using if they're put in through uh, Facebook, the Facebook page, or directly through YouTube. We also have this streaming to Instagram, and we don't see comments directly from there, but we're going to try and monitor them from a different screen. So anyway, thank you guys for coming. So before we get into just open Q&A, we do have a few things that we thought everybody would like to know and answer a few questions that everybody may have. So we will start by going into that. And give me a second because, again, we are not good at this.
It's not our strong suit, but
No.
we do a pretty fun event.
Yeah.
So, take what you can get.
All right. So first off, we still have tickets for CookieCon. So if you have a ticket and you're planning on coming, we are very much looking forward to seeing you, and we're very excited. If you are on the fence, we do still have tickets available. So, and we've been asked this. We try to make it pretty clear on our website, but this is indeed the single event we will have in 2025. So we get that question pretty constantly on the phone and email. And no, we will not have a fall event this year. This will be our only event in 2025.
Well, and the reason that we get that question a lot is because sometimes we do have two in a year. And
yeah, we have.
We do just monitor demand and availability of vendors and teachers and all that kind of stuff. So this year, I think is one. Next year, probably one as well. We're just going to kind of play it by ear and kind of monitor.
Any information about next year?
Somebody's asking if we'll ever bring it back to the Kalahari in Ohio. You know what? The Kalahari staff in Ohio, their Banquet staff, was amazing. They were so awesome, and it was a really good event there. I don't know. Yeah. We keep our minds open to a lot of things.
And we have been to two venues under the Kalahari name.
Mm-hmm.
They have 4, with the 5th one being built. The latest one will be finished next year in Virginia. And I'm not saying we have anything signed with them, but we've chatted with them about the possibility of having it there. So we love the Kalahari, and we very well may be adding Kalahari in the future. So, yeah. All right, next we have a couple of dates to keep in mind just because they're coming up. February 12th, cookie photos. So if you are unfamiliar with what we do with these, we love to get photos from our attendees of their cookies and put them everywhere. We put them in a printed program and up on screens, and it's really fun just to see your cookies everywhere. So the link to submit those is in your original registration email. So please consider that. And also the date by which we have to have things nailed down, a number of things, including T-shirts, is coming up on February 26th. If you have not ordered a T-shirt and you think you might want it, that's a date to keep in mind too. So
the T-shirt. A couple of people are asking, by the way, when somebody would like to have it in Dallas without COVID this time. I would also enjoy that. Yeah. And Houston. We've actually looked at Houston. At the time that we looked at Houston, there were no venues that were available and affordable. Houston is very expensive.
Yeah.
Some of the cities that get really expensive, we would just have to raise our ticket price so much that sometimes we avoid very expensive cities. Houston kind of was one of those, but things ebb and flow, and we keep an eye on everything. So
we will definitely be back in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah, which city specifically, who knows? But we did have a very good experience in Austin, Round Rock specifically, but it's right there near Austin. So, yep, we'll see. So just going back to photos, the Peppermill in Reno, particularly, is a wonderful venue for showing cookie
It's
photos.
my favorite for that. They have these amazing pillars that are just so fun to put your cookie pictures up on. So send us your pictures. We really haven't got very many photos this time. So
yeah, send them in.
Send those in. Oh.
You see another question?
Aaron Dugal says that the color looks good on me. Thank you, Aaron.
You know what's funny is right before we started, Karen was looking what I was wearing, just a shirt, and she said, "Should I dress up a little bit?" Or I think it's just fine. She says, "Okay," because I like pink. Yep, pink looks good on her. So.
Arizona is beautiful. Kick Pops 101, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, about having CookieCon in venue or state X, Y, or Z. Sure. I mean, anything's a possibility, and who knows where we'll be. But yeah. All right. So next item that we did want to cover is we want to encourage everybody to please consider entering a sugar show. The sugar show is one of the best parts of CookieCon, and what makes it awesome is just everybody that contributes and makes an awesome show. So these are the categories this time. The main judge categories are anything goes, wildlife, and the 80s. Mystery shape is voted on by your peers, and you don't get to see what that is until you get to CookieCon. And then the miniatures is just a collaborative, non-judge category. And we would just love for people to just enter and enter and enter. See the details on our Sugar Show page on our website. But basically, if I remember right, the miniatures, we're having them be under an inch and a half or something.
I think so, yeah. And we have some really fun display plans for those miniatures. So
yeah,
don't let us down. Bring them. They can fit in your carry-on because they're this big.
Yeah, and it takes a lot more cookies to have a big display of miniatures. So yeah, please submit your miniatures and all the other categories too. But we've done some fun things with our last event. We had books on the shelf, and we had these cool bookcases, and we've made little cities and a quilt where we pushed all the squares together, and we have some really fun ideas for the miniatures. So yes, plan on that.
Madison says she loves things, and I agree.
Yeah, we're excited about
Mike kind of picked these. Sometimes we take turns. Last in Austin, it was Needle Point and Florals, which just had me all over it. But these are a little bit more Mike. I don't know if some of you know that Mike is a wildlife painter, so he's excited about wildlife and
an 80s kid.
Yep. And so we do love the 80s.
We're going to try and implement a few other 80s theme elements into the show. So come prepared for that. If you want to dress in your 80s attire, I don't know, shave your head, make a neon green mohawk if you want.
Somebody would do that.
Somebody might.
I can actually think of a few people.
Yeah.
Amy Cloud asked us to have magnifying glasses so they can see the details.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good idea.
Yep, it is a good idea.
They have them on the stands that.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We will think about that.
Yeah. So next item. Let's see. Oh, here's are you guys ready? This is our little announcement. So first off, the format of the elective. The electives are these small, specialty hands-on classes that are included with the CookieCon ticket, and you get to pick a couple of them. But we always like to fill those seats. So when you get to CookieCon, all the seats that we have available, people are able to fill them, even if you have two electives that you've already chosen. So we always kind of assess this and how much space we have. And for this time, for the number of seats that we have before the event, we're ready to go ahead and allow people to, let me find the screen. Oh, thank you. All right, so attendees can go ahead and register for a third elective before the event. So if you kind of had a hard time just deciding on just two of them, there's lots of seats and many of the electives, and we encourage you to go ahead and grab the third one.
And even with everybody registering for the third elective, there will still be some empty seats available to pick up at CookieCon. So you could possibly get 4 electives, which is really exciting. This is a smaller event. We had 950 people in Austin, which was awesome and fun. And this one, we have 700. We do have a few tickets left to make it to 700, just a handful. So if you're on the fence, jump on that. But it'll be kind of a fun event for a smaller group. And they all have their advantages, the large events and the smaller events, but this will be kind of smaller. So if you're nervous about the bigger crowd, this is your event. Come on.
Yep, it'll be fun. All right, and with that, I am sure that we have missed a lot of questions. So if you ask something and a lot of comments have passed, feel free to ask again. So at this point, we are going to try and monitor questions, and if I'm able to, I'll post them on the stream. But in any case, we will repeat the questions so everybody benefits from, from hearing the answer.
Yeah, Nikki says the electives are such a great way to learn a really specific skill. You can put hers on there. And they are so great. Sometimes I hear people say, well, I don't know, I kind of already know that technique, or I don't really have an interest in learning that, but why not? I just feel like, how many chances do you get where the cookies are already made for you, the icing is already made for you, you can sit down for 45 minutes and play with icing and learn a different skill. So, I mean, utilize those.
Yep, they're awesome. Here's a question we get quite a bit. Dress code for the event generally, and specifically people ask about the Saturday dinner. They wonder if it's kind of a formal dinner. So there is no specific dress code. People just dress whatever is comfortable.
Some people go fancy.
But, there's some people that kind of dress up a little bit.
Evening gowns at the last one. We, in recent years, have thought maybe we should put on like something a little nicer. So we do dress up a little bit, but we're still very casual people, as you can see with my sweatshirt today. So a lot of people just go totally casual. Some people put on a cute apron. I mean, there's a lot of.
And feel free to dress in 80s. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. And I kind of chatted with John and Marty Magoo, who will be doing the karaoke. And I said, how about some 80s themed music? So I think they might do that. So if you want to dress in 80s attire for the banquet and after, that'd be awesome.
I have a couple, Laura Moffat, how many attendees again? 700. You'll have 700 at this one. Myra, do you have a date and place planned for 2026? Very good question. We will announce that at Reno. So
we don't yet, but
don't.
We're getting close.
Yeah.
We've got the conversation. So.
Yeah.
All right. How do you submit the photos? Well, in the initial email that you got when you registered, there's a link in there. If you can't find that, feel free to shoot us an email and I'll send that to you. So it's just a little form that you fill out, and then you could either email the photos or just give us where they are. Okay.
Anytime right now. Yeah, go.
Yep, just starting now.
Just don't crash it.
Yeah. So you could just go to our registration website. It's the same place that you went to register for your first. Put in your reference number and email address, and then just click. You scroll to the bottom of each page to go next, until you get to the electives, and then you can select a third one.
Yeah. Somebody asked, does anyone have advice on how to travel by plane with layovers with your sugar show pieces? Do people ship them or pack them? I'm a first timer, and it's been a hot minute since I've traveled. If you, Sweet Tooth Maine, if you're not on the Facebook group, and if you don't know how to find that, send us an email, because there's lots of really, really great advice on there. I actually haven't traveled with cookies in a while either. I usually pack them into a giant crate and ship them. So, but I know most people, I think, keep their sugar show pieces with them on the plane, but they have lots of good advice.
I always see rigid plastic containers, and I always see bubble wrap, for the people that come in with their cookies. So that's a start. But yeah, there's lots of great advice out there. Here's a good one. Can you bring a guest to Saturday dinner? There are some people that travel with the spouse. And they are not a full attendee, but they would like to attend that dinner. If we have seats, we are always happy to sell additional tickets to that. So I don't have the form up currently, but we have the price, which will be $65. If you don't mind, shoot us an email and I'll send you a link to that. It might give me a day or so, but send me the email whenever you want. But I'm happy to provide that to you.
No, Trisha is out. This is a question we get a lot. If you're not able to stay for the banquet, are you able to give your banquet meal away to someone's spouse? This is something that we tried in the past because I know it totally makes sense that you should be able to do that, but it was a big mess and challenge. People giving their ticket away multiple times and not being able to monitor whose ticket. And so we did have to make the decision that it's just not, we can't piece it out. So
in short, the full ticket, you can't piece any of that out. That includes a banquet. So that's just kind of a fact of life. It makes it a lot easier for us to run it and stay organized. So we definitely appreciate people's understanding on that.
I have just right by Kelly saying that she's going to miss the banquet. That reminded me, miss you, Kelly, but if you do miss the banquet, the question we get a lot is if you have to be present to win prizes, because that's where we announce the raffle prizes and the sugar show prizes, and you do not have to be present to win. We'll get that to you. So
yep, we're happy to ship those. Somebody just asked again how many attendees. We're looking at about 700 attendees at this event. Mm-hmm. So
how do you choose the CookieCon location each year? That is from Simply Sweet Caroline's. So we try to alternate sort of West Coast, East Coast-ish.
Middle.
I say East Coast for Florida. Everybody says Florida is not East Coast. It feels like East Coast to me.
More east than I don't know.
Here. But we kind of try, we have found, okay, choosing a venue is very difficult and learning a venue is very difficult. And so when we find a place that we really like, that works really well for CookieCon, works well for us and the event, we kind of start repeating that. We've done that with Orlando. We've been to Orlando twice, the same venue there. And this is our third time in Reno. Yep. Just because we know the venue works, we love it. We love the people, we love the whole process. And so, but we do try to shake it up now and then too. We look for we try to have everything in one place. So we like our hotel and our meeting space to be the same place. And so those are hard to find.
Yeah.
That have the meeting space that fits what we do, plus the number of
there are a lot of elements. And we look at the pricing for the attendee as well. In fact, let me bring in this question. Why never California? We haven't found a venue or a place in California that would be reasonably priced for our attendees. California is great, and we're hoping that our Reno location is close enough that a few Californians can come without too much effort. But there are great venues in California, and the room nights are literally over $400 a night. That's plus, just for you to sleep in there. That's not or anything.
Plus, the meeting space is more expensive. Food beverage is more expensive. So we would have to increase the ticket price by double or even triple in some instances. And sometimes we're like, well, for that, people can pay extra for a plane ticket or, travel. So it kind of.
Yeah. And each of these things that we're saying, that doesn't mean we'll never be in California. It doesn't. So, those are just some elements that we look at.
See, Florida's east.
Yeah, Florida is east.
Thank you, Aaron, Courtney.
Midwest again. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, we've had really good events in the Midwest. I would love to go back to the Midwest. Yeah. I'd love to go back to Salt Lake City. But for those of you who don't know, Salt Lake City is where we started, and I would love to go back to Salt Lake City. Right now, the way that we have evolved CookieCon, we have 2 different locations. One is in Reno, and the other one is in Salt Lake City. And so we would love to go back to Salt Lake City. But right now, the way that we have evolved CookieCon, our event just does not fit in a hotel there anymore. And so, I don't know, until they build a big hotel, or until we get brave enough to move it to a convention center or something. But I don't want to do that yet.
Bobby says Kansas City.
We know Bobby.
Yep. We have looked in Kansas City.
We did. I sent Bobby a picture of out the window when we were there. Salt Lake City was, me too. And Salt Lake City was great. Yeah, and Austin, we would definitely go back to Austin.
Yep. Just curious. I know the answer, but does anyone know the first year that we did CookieCon? We mentioned it was Salt Lake. I don't know if anybody remembers. All right.
We'll see if anybody remembers.
So, question.
Oh, Myrtle Beach. That'd be fun. Okay. So this is something. What do they call them? Trades.
They call them trades. I heard exchanges. I heard gifts. I'll say, go ahead and answer. I'm not going to interrupt you, but I'll say the more accurate thing is gifts.
Yeah. This just evolved. This was not really something that was officially CookieCon, and it's still not, but it has evolved over the years. It started out as pins, a lot of pins, which I used to have my collection down here, but I don't. People would trade little pins with different sayings and funny things on them, and it just evolved into trading whatever. Like a lot of just really fun things. And there's not an official time. And don't feel like you have to take anything.
No,
if that feels stressful
like
to you, don't even worry about it. Sometimes people will just bring a bag of chocolate or candy or something, just so that when somebody gives them something, they can hand something back. If you feel like, I need something to give back, chocolate or something, but people
or nothing.
Like, people are so happy to just give you whatever they brought, and you just go home with a bunch of fun little things.
And they're everything, little keychains and measuring spoons, and it's fun. I like to see that happen. It's fun I would feel bad if anyone felt pressure. Don't feel pressure to bring anything.
Just show up. A lot of people say, "What do I bring? What do I do?" I'm kind of stressed about all these things. Just show up.
Stickers are kind of popular.
Stickers are getting more popular too.
Bobby Barton is correct. She says 2012. That was our first year of CookieCon.
It was
2012. Still remember it very fondly. We got there Halloween night.
Our kids were little. We had little kids, and I needed to make sure that they got done trick-or-treating and all that stuff. And we left after they got home and got in bed, and we rolled in like at 2:00 in the morning or 1:00 in the morning, and it started that day. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We have learned some things.
Yeah, I can't believe that we did that, but it was a lot of fun. And just with any venture, you got to start somewhere. And
so JD's thing went away, but we did have a little. Like, didn't they do buses? I think Gigi.
They may have.
So Gigi is a baking supplier, like cooking supply store, or whatever. And we rented buses for us and took us all to Gigi one night.
Arizona, yep. We had looked at Arizona. We haven't been there in person, but it's been recommended to us several times. We've looked at some venues. Who knows?
JD just found an old box with yellow tissue from Karen's Cookies. Yes, that is what it was called. And do you know I still have a lifetime supply of yellow tissue paper when we closed our shop? For those of you who don't know, I used to run a cookie decorating supply store called Karen's Cookies, and I wrapped everything in yellow tissue paper. And I still have reams of yellow tissue paper.
So, those are the days, huh?
Yeah, those are the days.
Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, we should talk about this. The tasting event. We will do that again.
Mm-hmm. Somebody was asking. Oh, that was Novelle over on. She was asking. Oh, it did come up on Facebook. She was wondering if we still need tasting cookies, and I am not sure. Georgianne Bell takes care of that, and I am not sure if she's full or not, but definitely shoot us an email and we can get you in touch with if you're interested in
Also,
that.
if you are in our CookieCon attendees Facebook group, I believe that Georgianne has a pinned post with a link to that. So that might be a good place to go to if you're wondering if they're looking for bakers for that.
Aw. It's so funny because I often remember who the customers were. I
Yeah.
still remember. That's awesome. I saw something else. Something with a lot of direct flights. I know Reno is. I know. That is the downside to Reno.
There
Sure.
are pros and cons to every city and every venue. That's true. There are really good things about Reno. The free parking is one,
Free
and
shuttle.
it's great for people that are within driving distance. The shuttle from the airport. But as far as getting flights anywhere besides the west side of the country, you're probably going to have two legs, and sometimes it's a little bit more expensive. So, yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Somebody is asking, Roseanne, what are you asking?
I don't. Okay, and you participate in my Google form one.
Is that for the photos, maybe?
Yeah, if you have any specific questions on that, shoot us an email. We'll get to the bottom of it. If one of the forms isn't working, shoot us an email.
Yes, JD.
Yep, that's a lot of fun.
Yes, I wish that we could take their monitors other places. It's so much fun. I love it.
All right, travel question. That's a good question. Typically, if you will be a guest at a hotel, they're generally happy to take your luggage and put it somewhere. So I would just contact the Peppermill about that.
Yeah, I think they do. I'm pretty sure Peppermill.
Well, she says she's not staying at the Peppermill.
Oh,
maybe they could for a fee. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be able to do that for you. So there is a shuttle from the airport.
I think it's last. I think the last shuttle of the night is like 11:30 or 11:15 or something like that.
But then they start up again at like 4:30 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
So there's a small window where they are not running, and unfortunately, if you get in at that time, you'll have to do Uber or something.
And it's expensive. I did some midnight Ubers, but yeah. Oh, Roseanne was about the cookie tasting.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if she. Okay, we'll if you want to send us an email, Roseanne, we can. Oh, she said she wasn't going to participate though. But
okay.
Upper East Coast. Somebody else was asking about New England, Upper East Coast. Again, you get into kind of expensive costs up there, but we're open to everything.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, kind of back to that shuttle. Please verify on Peppermill's website to be sure, but I believe they run until about 11:30, and like I said, it's way early that they start going again. So yeah, that's definitely a good perk of being in Reno at the Peppermill. And the Peppermill is a beautiful venue. For those who have not been there, yes, it is in a casino city. There are many casinos there, and we have been through many of them. And in our opinion, Peppermill is about the best you can get as far as if you want to not pass through the casino stuff very often. The convention area is quite separate from there. Yeah, if you're going to go to one of the restaurants, you might have to jet through the casino portion a little bit, but just the event center itself, the convention area, it's quite separate by and large, and we love it. So it's very beautiful.
The first time we went to Reno to look at venues, the first, I think, 2 hotels that we walked through, I was like, nope, we are not having CookieCon here. Like, I just could not picture the casino and all of it. But then we went to the Peppermill. I was like, okay, this will be good. So it's a good place.
And apparently, if you are driving from California, it could be a nice drive, says Maya.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Do you go through Tahoe? I've actually never done that. You really go through the Tahoe area. But yeah, if you're in California and you're close enough to drive, or anywhere that so we're in Idaho, and I love Reno because it feels so close and it feels like home, just the West, you know. But so anybody like Utah, Oregon, Washington, like anywhere in that area that you could drive, it's a good one to come to.
And I imagine the drive is prettier from California than it is from Idaho.
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's a pretty good stretch for
The drive from Idaho, not pretty, but it's
a whole lot of nothing.
but it is.
Yeah. Like Angie said, me and Nikki are driving from Seattle. So
Awesome.
it'll be a fun road trip.
Yeah, through Oregon. Oregon. We used to live in Oregon, so I miss that.
Yeah. Any other questions before we?
I might be missing.
We'll review quickly.
I see. What we're using, it doesn't bring in Instagram questions, so I'm really sorry if I just missed you all. For first timers, any advice? Kelly's asking on Instagram. Just come and have a good time. Don't stress about stuff. If you have the money, take an add-on workshop. I mean, the number of times that many really amazing cookie teachers are in one spot at one time, take advantage of that if you can. Totally understand if it's not in your budget. The event is great and you can just show up. But if you have a little bit of cash and you're able to, I definitely recommend those add-on workshops.
Yeah, and we have people every time. There's some people that say, well, I just want to fill it out, so I'm just doing a shopper pass this time. And some people may just get the CookieCon ticket without the add-on workshop. And I can promise it's a full, good, wonderful experience without those add-ons. But like Karen said, if you can, make the most of your trip. While you're there, it's just a wonderful opportunity to learn from world-class teachers. And so if it's in your budget and you have the time to do that, yeah, take add-on workshops. They are awesome. And there's still lots of great seats in those. Here's a question from Bobby. What is your favorite part of CookieCon? So what's yours, Karen?
I love all the stuff leading up to CookieCon is pretty stressful. Our kids call it CookieCon orphan season because we only have one left at home, but she definitely still feels the orphan thing. But it's so busy and so stressful, and then we get there and just seeing the people and being with all of you is just the best. It's like we get there and we're like, oh yeah, this is why we do it. Because leading up, like, why do we do this again? And then we see you guys, and that's why we do it. It's just so fun to see everybody.
I agree. And while the whole COVID stuff was going and people were putting their events online, and we had several people say, this is just the way of the future. Just go online and stay online. There is really something to be said for getting people together in person. And that's why we have these live events. You can never replace that with anything digital. There are wonderful ways to get people together digitally and have online resources and classes, but there's just nothing like getting people together, in person. There you go.
I cry every time. And that's why I think, because I see these people who are reaching out to each other, they're taking care of each other. I mean, it's very, very touching because we live in a world that's kind of cold. It feels kind of cold a lot of the time. Yeah. And to get there and just see the warmth among the people, it gets to me. I do. I cry every time.
So we have a question here about bringing a rolling bag. We see those sometimes. And I'll tell you one thing. One of the reasons why we love having a convention area in this space as a hotel is because it's really easy to go up to your room to drop things off or pick things up. Mm-hmm. So if you're staying there in a hotel, I mean, it's up to you on how much stuff that you want to haul around, but that's kind of why we have it, in a venue like that.
Yeah.
But,
so if you are staying off site, I definitely would recommend something like that because you accumulate a lot of things to carry around.
Right. And a lot of I mean, I can't think of any of the add-ons or anything that require you to bring something. Sometimes it's a laptop or tablet or something.
Take stuff away.
But CookieCon is not like bring all of your decorating bags and food coloring and icing because it's all provided for each one of our electives and our workshops and everything. So.
Maybe this one. It probably came from
the service that we use is called Purple Pass. Having said that, feel free to email me, and I have the ability to look it up. One thing that happens sometimes is people will mistype their email, and then they don't get an email. But I'm happy to look that up. Shoot us an email. We'll make sure that that's taken care of.
That one. Yes, that there is not. So on the same vein as in-person events, we just went to an event that was a board gaming event. Mike's into that, and I like it too. It's fun, but it reminded me. I mean, I'm not super into board games, but just meeting people, like we met the most fun, amazing people, and just going to something where you have something in common already off the bat is such a good way to meet people because you already have something to talk about. You already have something that you both love, and so it's just a perfect way to meet people.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you do. All attendees get we call it a swag bag because it's full of a bunch of fun stuff. So you're welcome to use that. Go to your room and dump it out on your bed, and then you could use that to carry stuff. If you can imagine convention bags, they're not like super heavy duty or anything, but people carry those around and are great for shopping and stuff.
And they get filled with we have amazing sponsors that send really fun stuff for you. So
yeah. Very good. Well, you see anything else as far as questions? Somebody's asking us about the board game. They're obviously familiar with it. They said, is it Gen Con or Origin? So now you're speaking my language. The event that we went to was actually a cruise. Very side note, has nothing to do with CookieCon. It was under the Dice Tower, and I've been to a couple Dice Tower events. So those who are in that world, we went to the Dice Tower cruise in January,
and it was so fun. I'm not even really into that, but it was.
No, but it reminded us of what the purpose of CookieCon is. Just when you get like-minded people together, whether it be cookie decorating or board gaming or anything else.
Yeah, I was thinking about CookieCon the whole time we were there because for one thing, they did a couple of things I thought, it'd be fun to do at CookieCon, but just the process of meeting people and connecting with people, I was thinking about CookieCon the whole time.
Yeah, another favorite experience of mine is when we get an email before CookieCon and somebody might say, I've never been to anything like this. I'm brand new to cookie decorating. Is this event for me? Will I have any fun? I love coming back around to the other side and having them either come up to me at the event or email after and just say how much fun it was, just how awesome it was. And we've heard this statement multiple times. That was the best thing I've ever been to. So, and again, there's just something about in-person events of like-minded people. You don't have to be alike in every way. We love how diverse our people are, as far as everything else in the world goes. But everybody loves art and cookies and putting them together to, decorate cookies and learn a few skills during the week. So it's just tons of fun.
Somebody came on late. Oh, that one too, but
just shoot me an email. I'm going to have something available as far as a form to fill out and a way to buy it online really soon. If you give me an email, then I'll jot down your name so I'll know to email you about that.
And our email is contact@cookiecon.com.
Yep. And as a reminder, if anybody else came in, she's asking about an extra ticket for the banquet on Saturday. So oftentimes people will travel with a mother or a sister or a spouse or something who was not attending CookieCon themselves. They're just kind of hanging out while they attend. Yes, they're welcome to come to the banquet, and we basically just charge what the hotel charges. In this case, it is $65. And so, shoot us an email, and I'll put it on a list and let you know when those are available.
Someone else was late and missed about when the next CookieCon is. This is Reno is the only one for 2025. And we will announce the 2026 one at Reno. And it'll go up on the website at the same time. So if you're not there.
Do we get nervous? Never.
Yes. And I feel like there's always something. Like the last time we were in Orlando, there was a hurricane, there was COVID, there's been like there's always like stuff that is very kind of like, oh, here we go. But it always works out.
It works out.
It works out. And we do. I get nervous flying there. Like on the way there, I'm like, but once I'm there, I feel like it's good. That one.
We forgot to silence.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. They can call back. Sorry if it's you. We'll call. Do that button.
Sorry about that.
So yeah, I'm okay. So Sandy, so am I. I have a really hard time getting out of my comfort zone, and I understand this. And when you get there, you're gonna feel like everybody knows somebody except for you. But I promise you that they don't. I promise you that half of the people who are there came alone. It's their first time, and they don't know anybody. And this group is amazing. Another reason why I cry at all the opener things, because it is such a great group for reaching out and bringing people in. And those of you who are extroverts, reach out and bring people in. And those of you who are introverts, let yourself be scooped up. I mean, let yourself get outside of that a little bit. I know that it's hard, but I think you both have a role there. And CookieCon people do a really good job of that. So be brave. You're going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we get that all the time. Like people say, I'm very introverted. And I agree. It is hard. It's a challenge to experience new things and be around crowds and stuff. I just like Karen said, you're in good company. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so can you still sign up for add-on workshops? Absolutely. Yep, you can still do that. And we do like to make those available at all periods, but there is a time that we have to kind of shut it off so we can get everything ready to go. When is that date?
Well, add-on classes is up to each teacher.
Right.
So the add-on teachers kind of give us what date they want to cut off. Some teachers are totally good with like literally the last minute. Like you can sign up 5 minutes before the class. Some are like, no, I need to know exactly how many, which is totally understandable. So some of them you'll see start kind of closing up, but most of them will keep them open until at least the event.
Yeah.
Till it starts.
Yep. A lot of people are in the same boat. They feel a little anxious about it.
But. Yeah, but you'll if you let yourself be brought in, it'll be great. You'll leave with great.
Yep. I say just about anyone at CookieCon will be friendly if you have any questions, but particularly our staff has purple aprons. Come find us if you have any questions at all. Yeah, we're just happy to help you with anything. So, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, rooming with you do. A lot of people will share rooms, and it is like it feels like college. And I think that's why actually I say you'll feel like everybody knows somebody except for you. That's how I felt when I went to college for the first time. You probably didn't feel that way because you had friends. But I went to college with nobody. I didn't know anybody. And I just walked around campus being like, well, everybody knows people except for me. And that's how you will feel for a little bit. But I promise it's not true. Like there will be other people looking for friends.
So Sunny wouldn't be too excited about being approached too fast. So yeah, basically.
Oh, that's true. straight.
Read the room.
Read the room. Yeah.
Like if you see someone and they're not looking like they want to, engage, yeah, let people kind of move at their own speed. That's a good point.
Yes.
Considering driving, yeah, if you're able to drive.
Flying is, I know, it's been a rough couple of weeks for flying.
Yep.
Sandra, good to see you. It is a really good space. I love it. Oh, I love that. Rebecca, are you coming? I can't remember if she's coming. Rebecca, are you going to be there? We do. We do have that still.
Yeah, we do that.
So we have a little secret purple apron that not very many people have, because we do give it out very sparingly, but it's when we see people really going the extra mile to help somebody or do something kind, we'll slip them a little purple apron pin. I think the last event, I totally forgot to pass them out. We give them to our purple apron.
But somebody had them because they were
given out. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll be better at reminding them. And yes, if you see somebody being awesome, come tell us. Report it. We don't always see it.
So. Yeah. Again, will there be a second 2025 CookieCon? Nope, this is it. So if you have any desire to go to CookieCon this year, this will be it. Reno event. All right, great, awesome. Heather, we're excited to see your entries. So essentially, just bring them, and you'll come. This time it will be, I don't remember the name of the room, but basically just come find a purple apron person, and we'll direct you where to drop it off. And so we will be accepting those on what day?
I don't remember. I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday, starting Wednesday afternoon, because it's when the vendors are setting up, I think.
Yep.
But it'll be in your book. So when you register at CookieCon, you will have we have a full program book. I have one here. I don't know what event this was. Oh, awesome. You'll get a program book that has all of the events just listed out for you, everything, the times that you need to be places. This is a really, really good resource that you'll have. And we also put it out digitally a little bit before the event, so you can kind of
start planning. Yeah. So Heather, you're a good example to everybody. You're preparing cookies for the sugar show. Everybody please follow and Heather's steps.
Such a great time seeing all those. First time vending.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we're looking forward to having you there.
Yeah.
Yep, I think every event we've had a new vendor or two or three, we just always see new people, new attendees, new vendors. And the vendor hall is always a favorite as far as things to do at CookieCon. It's a wonderful place to network and get to know vendors and sponsors. All right, any advice for first-time vendors? Do you have any advice for first-time vendors? Be prepared for some crazy people that just love shopping and love cookies, and it's high energy and a lot of fun.
One thing that vendors say about our event that's a little different if you've been to the other places. So the first day is crazy. Like people line up down the hall, and they're like, you'll have like a stampede of people that first day, and it's pretty busy the first day. The second day, Friday, will feel slow, but what we do is we have this track of classes going. So every track group has a break at a different hour, so it'll feel a little bit slower, but you've got a different group of 100 people in there every hour. It kind of rotates through, so it kind of slows down, but it's different people.
And just some practical things. It's always good to bring like a power strip, and like if you just want to make sure that you have a place to plug your phone to charge. Some people like to bring extra lighting, just so you could kind of control what your booth looks like. This venue is very well lit. It should be fine, but it's just something some people think of. Yeah, if you have any specific questions, shoot us an email.
From Instagram, hello Mary, hi Dawn. A couple of people saying hi. And somebody asking, should we be checking our emails for updates now that the date is getting closer? We will send out an update next week with some dates in it that you will want to remember. Besides that, we don't really, until like, there will probably be, I would say, 2 or 3 emails between now and CookieCon. We'll send one probably the week before, just saying, you know, it's coming up and the last minute stuff, but we don't send out a ton of emails. One really good way, if you're not in the Facebook group already, is to join the Facebook group, because there's a lot of chatter on there, and that'll keep you updated on all the things.
People are good at answering each other's questions. And Gail asked about the sugar show specifically. If someone is entering in the wildlife category, does the animal?
No,
absolutely not. Nope. Do lizards, snakes, whatever you want.
Any wildlife you want.
Yep. When does the vendor list come out? So here's just kind of some backstory. I will post it on our website. When we post it really broadly and put it out there, there's always these people that follow all the events that are going on everywhere, and they like to find the vendor list and find their emails and email them, and
tons of spam and weird stuff. Our teachers are already getting that. Our teachers
that's
got
not
it
unique to CookieCon. That's like every live event.
But
and so I will post that. It'll be on our vendor page. But in the meantime, feel free to email me if you're curious who they are. But I'll get that posted. So, yep, that's. I don't know if I clicked that yet, but yes, you still can. We just posted that you have until, I forgot the date already. The date is until February 12th. Okay, now that is not a really, really hard date. I accept them after that, but please try and get them in ASAP.
It's so much easier on Mike, but somebody asked a while back, what was it, Bobby? What's your favorite part of CookieCon? I think Mike's, one of his favorites is putting that slideshow together. He loves it, and he wants everyone to be included in it. So I've seen him at midnight the night before we leave sliding somebody in there. So, and I tease him about it. At some point, there has to be a cutoff, and it won't make it in there. But do it sooner rather than later.
The 12th is like a week.
Yeah.
It's next Wednesday. So please do it soon.
Yes.
If you're a couple days after that, a few days, I'll probably be able to get it in. But yeah, please get them in. So, all right. If we don't see anything else, we've been going just about an hour here. As always, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email us. We're always happy to answer questions.
And like we mentioned at the beginning, we're not super great at social media, if you haven't noticed. So we're going to try to be better, but if you ask a question on social media and we don't get back to you, we're going to do better. But
yeah. But beyond that, I mean, just thank you guys for participating in this, and we are just really excited. It's coming up really quick. We just barely got into February, but months just fly by so quickly. February now, and tomorrow's gonna be March, and then CookieCon will be years. So it's coming right up, and we are just very excited to see everybody. Thank you for everybody's participation, and we just love you guys and love being part of this community. So, all right,
talk to you again.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Have a good one.